Well guys, Gainward just decided that releasing during a GPU shortage a brand new model of RTX 5080 was a good idea. And surprisingly, it actually was. I'm very impressed with this card, and I can tell you off the get-go, I am fully recommending it, especially at the price I was able to buy it in Italy right now. With that said, welcome back at ImWateringPSUs, and let's review this RTX 5080 Gainward Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix series from Gainward has been around for a long time. Very long time. On this channel, I make quite a few videos about companies, GPU companies especially, where I go and talk about them because I think there's a lot of misconception. For example, a lot of people don't know that PNY is an American company, and a lot of people don't know that Colorful is probably the biggest GPU maker worldwide. Two words here about Gainward is it is a very, very reputable company. I have a full video about the company itself. Why do we care about the company? For warranty reasons and in general for quality reasons, because very often certain companies have some recurring defects. For example, Inno3D, a company I love. I love their iChill cards. I've had a lot of those, but they have fans problems. Basically all their GPUs, especially on the high end, their fans, they end up having to be replaced. No big deal, it's just $10 and some labor, but you need to know that. I wouldn't put, for example, a 5080 from Inno3D in a PC for a client if I know the client would use that PC a lot, and if the price difference isn't justified and if it doesn't care about aesthetics, there's no point. Gainward, they used to have pretty bad thermals. That was the only problem with them, but ever since NVIDIA made that very big decision to unify designs from partners, a lot of companies got significantly better. Of course, that made a few companies quit. EVGA quit for issues with the NVIDIA policies. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's understandable. But I think overall for the consumer, those stricter policies are pretty good because it means we can get some decent GPUs from less popular brands. With that said, this card comes in a very unique box, which I thought looked very cool. I originally thought the box would look better than the actual card, but it turns out the card is quite alright itself. So let's go ahead with the unboxing. As you can see, the box itself inside is pretty standard. There aren't any kind of ROG like accessories, of course, but you're paying far less than an Astral card for this. You get a simple adapter, you don't even get a GPU stand, but the card itself is very premium. It's very heavy and it has a very unique heatsink. It's fully covered, you can't see the fins inside, which I like. Probably bad if you have to disassemble it, but it just takes a little bit more time, which I don't see as a deal breaker. It has a small pass-through design on the top, nothing crazy, triple fan, dual slot, which we like because it can fit in mini ITX computers, even though it's not the slimmest, which we also like because it means we have enough fins to cool it right. It has a dual BIOS switch in a very convenient location on top, which I actually like more than the location at the side, which is mostly used by brands. I find it's easier to reach, and it also looks kind of cool. It has a simple 3-pin RGB connector in case you want to connect other fans to it and synchronize them via your GPU, which is very useful, and I've actually used that in the past in one of my builds. Overall, the card looks pretty minimal. It has a simple RGB writing with the logo, no fancy RGB, it's black and silver. I say it's going to fit well in a black or silver build, not really in a white one, unless you vertical mount it and you like a bit of contrast, in which case I could definitely see it in that build as well. Now let's go talk about performance and thermals. Well, they are in line with the category. Again, pretty standardized nowadays. It's very good, and the better thing which really stands out is how quiet the fans are. This is on par with a higher end model. This is basically on par noise-wise with a Strix card. Definitely on par with the Gigabyte Aero and with all the competition on the segment from Zotac as well and MSI. Now, where I thought they were going to lose a little bit of points, they actually surprised me with the features, but with a catch. Their software. So their software, you can download it from the GPU page. It seems very sketchy when you install it, but it ends up being very good and very complete. It definitely doesn't look the best, nor is it the most intuitive. Definitely the UI and UX could have some little bit of improvement, but from a feature standpoint, this takes the only one approach, like the ASUS software. Basically, you can control from a single software the RGB, the fan curve, the overclocking, you can do the scanning, you can do the curve, you can set basically whatever you can with your GPU from a single utility. So you don't need Afterburner, you don't need anything else, you just set it from here. However, the card is not recognized by my ASUS motherboard, nor from any other motherboard, so you will need to install this software. You cannot synchronize it from another software, which is a little bit annoying. But again, it has a very good fan customization option, which I think makes up for it. Even though it's really ugly, it works very well. So with that said, who is this card for? Well, clearly its appeal is in the value for money point, because this comes in at MSRP for the 5080, which means if you find this as the cheapest card you can buy, or one of the cheapest, it's definitely worth buying, especially if the alternatives are something like fully black with no RGB and that just look a little bit bad. This is a very good model, on par again with a Ventus, with an Asus, and with a Zotac and Gigabyte card. They're all in the same category. This is exactly there. So if this is $50 cheaper, you can definitely grab this one, and it has my full approval. As usual though, under videos like these, I want to hear your long-term feedback. So if you buy a card like this and you have issues, drop a comment down below so people can come back to this and see that you've had issues. If I have issues, I will also update the video, drop in a comment to tell you guys not to buy it. And I hope this video helped you so far. And if it did, drop a like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.